I am the rocket man they talk about. I jump from star to star, I'll walk it out.
What is going on, everyone? Shibby2142 here with How You See Damage Episode 2 on Machinima Respawn. Let's get started. This week's user submission is from Swift995. He says, Splendid Screen, Ullapool Caber, and Booties, How You See Damage. Before going over the weapons in this week's loadout, make sure that you, the viewer, are leaving a comment, something like, Hey Shibby, the loadout you want me to use, How You See Damage. The critical part there is, How You See Damage. It makes sense to talk about the Splendid Screen first, that being the shield, which adds 20% resistance to fire, 15% resistance to explosive damage, ability to deal charge impact damage at any range, and has 70% more charge impact damage than normal. Pretty beastie Demo Knight item. Definitely want to get your hands on one. My favorite shield over the Charge and Targe for sure. Alibaba's Wee Booties increases the Demo Man's maximum health by 25, making it a flat 200, and then can have 300 from an overheal by a medic. It also increases turning speed while charging by 100%. Finally, the piece de resistance is the Ullapool Caber in this loadout, which is the melee weapon. Kind of looks like a potato masher from World War II. And I'll tell you what, viewer, this loadout is certainly not dripping the chocolate sauce. Because once this caber has been used, typically you'll get a kill on the first whack because it then explodes. And then as you see right now, it's kind of all frailed and blown open. So it does between 30 to 40 damage per swing when it's broken like this. And it's absolutely horrible. Completely ineffective. It's basically poking the enemy with your fingers. And certainly not poking the enemy in their gooey parts. Is Pyro female? I think so, but certainly not doing critical damage, if you know what I mean, son. I played with this loadout for 3 rounds. This map is King of the Hill Lakeside Final. Definitely one of my favorites. Check it out. This is on my server. If you want to check out the video description, my Steam group has the IP and all that stuff if you want to come play with me one time. Anyways, if there was a How You See Damage rating of this whole loadout, I would definitely say 1 out of 10. Goomba Stomp definitely increases that a little bit, but mini sentries are going to be your bane because you really do nothing. Good luck exploding your own Ullapool Caber on the mini sentry, and then you'll basically kill yourself when the engineer will just laugh at you from a distance. And you may be wondering, but Shibby, how are you flying at the enemy in certain situations? Well, as right there, I was using my right click. This is on the PC. That is the Splendid Screen doing work. You see the charge meter bottom right where it's filling up. That's how often I can charge. So this sniper will be getting the Kritzkrieg death of the Ullapool Caber. Pretty sad because without Kritzkrieg, it's very difficult to kill anyone. Missed the charge there, not really going anywhere. Not really sure why I wanted to go to their spawn because you cannot take on more than one enemy at once with this exploded caber. Maybe if it's not exploded, you'll do some damage. But once you've really used your one kill, and you saw me get that Goomba Stomp on the heavy after I hit him because it doesn't insta-kill everyone, it's just really a mess, a terrible loadout in my opinion. Kind of fun, really cheesy, but just really bad. It's really quite pathetic because any other melee weapon would be so much better in this situation because it can charge and then melee multiple times instead of just using the caber once, it explodes, and then you're basically effed. But Shibby, this show is so new that I need to be refreshed once again how to submit my comments so you can pick that for the next loadout. Start it with something like, Hey Shibby, have your loadout, end it with How You See Damage. Very easy, then I can screenshot it, have you in the video, kind of special. So do that and maybe I'll be taking your suggestion for episode 3. Preferably the loadout you have submitted is not as bad as this one. I'm not going to hold it against you if it is really terrible, but this has to be one of the most fail loadouts. It could be worse, I guess, a little bit, but really just the whole melee for 30 or 40 damage when you could be using something else, especially as Demo Man, almost as Demo Knight. Ah, just so bad. Overall, it's really not that big of a deal because Team Fortress 2 is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be casual, it is free to play on Steam. Check it out if you haven't. I'd be happy to have you or teach you a few things. As the video is coming to an end, I want to thank you for watching. If you missed last week's episode, that was heavy with steak sandwich and the eviction notice. Not quite as fail as this one. Demo Man falling on his face. Kind of how I feel about this loadout. Hopefully I'll see you next time.